Thank you. The next order of business that's on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of December the 3rd, 2025 Public Procurement Review Board meeting. What's your pleasure?
Move approval of minutes.
Second. We have a motion and a second to move approval of minutes as they have been presented. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Third item on the agenda is approval of the per diem and expenses of January 7th, 2026 meeting and for any additional expense incurred prior to February 4th meeting.
Move for approval of this item. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this item. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion is carried. You see the reports. Let's do them as they occur. Any question regarding number 1, OPTFM emergency purchase reported to the board? It's coming up on our screens and you can place it on yours. Any question about that one? Hearing none, let's move on to the next one. OPTFM sole source purchase reported to the board. Thank you for that increase. You're welcome. You see the items there. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Next item, OPTFM staff approvals reported to the board at this time. Question, comments, concerns? BOB staff approval reported to the board. Question, comments, concerns? Hearing none, moving to the next. SCR, emergency contracts. Emergency contracts. OPSCR, sole source. We have none thus far. OPSCR, staff approvals. Question, comments, concerns? Then we'll move forward with the DFA, Office of Purchasing. First one.
Morning, everybody. Happy New Year's Eve. Danny Lynch of OPTFM. First thing, the petitions for legal on the first option. If y'all are okay, we can do those 1, 2, 3. Yes. First one is going to be before the Terry Agricultural High School. The second one, Gulfport School District, and the third is Monroe County School District. The amount of $80,000, even $1,202,427.85, and $481,429.73 respectively. The school districts are requesting exemption from the Category 2 projects that wish to proceed. It's commonly used name for schools and library programs of the Universal Service Fund, administered by the SAC and under the direction of the FCC. School district requesting exemption for complexity of these projects, which will include both commodities and professional services, and they feel like that is still the best method to move forward. DFM is recommending approval.
Thank you. You've heard the 3 petitions for relief from revenue, reverse auction and the staff's recommendations. What's your pleasure?
Move approval of these items.
Thank you.
Second.
It's been moved and approved. Approval of all three of these items. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion is carried.
And the next item is the consideration pay the contract for the board. First item you can do the Department of Public Safety in the amount of $1,869,720.62. This is going to be Roger Staff Chevrolet for the purchase of 32 2026 Chevrolet Tahoe SFPs and one 2026 Chevrolet Tahoe TEV from the state contract. DPS purchased 5, originally totaling 270. These new purchases are in addition to those 5, to be the 33 additional vehicles, which is now surpassing the threshold requiring board approval. TFN and approval of this contract.
You've heard the report on the contract and the staff's recommendation. What is your pleasure?
I move for approval based on staff recommendation.
Second. Question.
Yes, sir. It's been moved and seconded. And Mr. Miles, you have a question?
Danny, you got, in that 1,869,000, you got 3 different numbers, 453, 687, 35. Is that different type vehicles?
Yeah, they're different options.
Okay.
Yes, some of them have different options on them. So they did 2, I think 2 POs might have been PPVs, one SSD, or they just didn't have, I think, different animals too.
Okay, the reason I was asking that because it had one 2026 Chevy Tahoe, and I figured that would be a number all by itself.
Yeah,
And I hope that's not a $453,000 truck.
it's
It's just built into those
built
others.
into the PO.
Okay. Okay.
Like you mentioned last time, PPV is student.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any additional question, comments, concern? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Next item, sir.
Next item is going to be the police department with holiday construction in the amount of $20,000. In that hands-on source of competitive seal bids and crushed aggregates and awarded to vendors and implementations, allowing for the lowest cost at the time of need and location of the work. This contract can be used by NDOT, state agencies, and governing authorities. The contract was admitted, DPS got it off there, they all approved this last month. A series of contracts and one agenda item, and this one was just omitted by NDOT, so it's putting on the agenda for this month. So that's the reason for the $20,000. LPTFN is recommending approval of this contract.
You've heard the proposal and the staff's recommendation. What is your pleasure?
I move approval of this item.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next item.
Next item goes to the Mississippi Department of Public Safety with the Southern Connection Police Supply in the amount of $25,508.80. DPS conducted a reverse auction for trade-in and purchase of Block 9mm handguns for their law enforcement officers. LPTFN is recommending approval of this contract.
You've heard a summary of the contract and the staff's recommendation. What is your pleasure?
I move for approval with the question.
Second.
It's been moved and approved. And floor is open for question.
Just out of curiosity, how were they with this reverse auction? You know, very few of our agencies are doing, seem to be doing reverse auctions. Work well, or is anybody online that would?
Someone might be online, I can't remember how many vendors were part of this one. Anybody with DPS on there? No, I saw Trey's name pop up.
I'm here.
Hey, Trey.
I don't know if you heard that question, but just how satisfied were you with the reverse auction process? And how did it work well for y'all?
There are a lot of vendors that do not like to participate in reverse auctions. They'd rather do a sealed bid, but they liked it just fine. I'm pretty sure.
In the scheme of, but it worked well, and you got pricing, you're comfortable with the pricing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is very few agencies are doing the reverse auctions, and it's always nice to hear that one worked like it should have, so.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Well, a lot of times you have too many vendors that get together when it becomes a reverse auction and they compete against each other, but they're not giving us the best price. But
Yeah.
they did this round.
Well, good, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion is carried.
I'm going to agree with the Mississippi Department of Education with Pursuit Business Solutions in the amount of $1,074,790.20. MBE expressing use of state contract with Toshiba for the purchase of copiers for MBE's main office. OPTFN recommending approval of this contract.
You've heard the overview of the contract and the staff's recommendation. What is your pleasure?
I move for approval with the question. So,
It's been moved and properly, and seconded.
just a quick, on these contracts, they're negotiated contracts, right? So they can negotiate the price down.
Yes,
Well,
price listed is the ceiling, so agencies are responsible.
So when they have like this kind of volume, they probably gotta just, okay, because
They need to be different things from month price, the charges, and negotiate any and all.
okay.
Additional question, comments, concerns? If none, all in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it, motion is carried. Next item. Yes, sir.
I'm not even, but, just wanted to, my, we've got two, change orders, one of them should be on a handout. Both are relating to ARPA projects. We're trying to maximize the use of that statement, that federal money. So the first one is a change order on Jackson State University, case number 103322. That's ARPA infrastructure waste collection and conveyance. The general contractor, Central Construction, the original contract for $3,511,320. Previous change orders for $157,721. So the value of this change order is $1,552,175. Now these are adding back two items that were alternates in the original, at the original bid price. We have additional ARPA money, so they want to move forward with this work. It's competitively prepared originally, so and they were below bidder, so you're looking at this. So board actions required when change orders exceed $1 million and when they exceed 25% of the original bid. So we are asking for board approval. PPRB recommends PPRB approval contingent upon actual approval and executable change order.
You've heard the information regarding the change order, as well as the staff's recommendation. What's your pleasure?
I move for approval based on staff recommendation. Sure.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries.
The second change order is for another project at the University of Mississippi, GS number 107324. That's ARPA infrastructure waste collection and surveying. The original contractor was U-Bank Construction Company for $471,590. There were some previous negative change orders, which is refreshing. So the original price for this change order is $381,787.31. But there's some additional work that is to install a communitor, which is a fancy word for a grinder. I looked that up. In a new manhole and a grinder package of the pump station. The work for piping and valving will be changed to accommodate the new grinder design. Work that includes approximately 20 linear feet of 12-inch diameter gravity. The professionals reviewed and recommended that this is very reasonable pricing. As I said, this is ARPA money, so we have ARPA money available to do this additional work. And board actions required if change orders exceed 25%. So we're asking for approval. PPRB recommends PPRB approval contingent upon HL approval and executable change order.
I don't know if y'all heard Glenn at the very beginning. This is the late edition that's in your handout.
You've heard the overview that has been included in our handouts and staff's recommendation. What is your pleasure?
I move approval of this item.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried.
Couple leases. First, lease is gonna be an amended lease. It is with Mississippi Department of Rehab Services. This is the apartment lease in Long Beach for 730 square feet, $12,000 a year, $16.44 per square foot, plus utility janitorial. And as we presented before, this is with the blind clients that Rehab services down there. And the clients will be responsible for filling these daily tasks of the department and with the MDRS instructors. This amendment extends the lease for 1 year with no renewals. The agency has been here since November of 2023. RPM recommends the approval of this lease.
You've heard about the amended lease with Mississippi Department of Rehab Services and the recommendation from staff. All those in favor say aye.
We need to move, I move that we,
Sorry.
that's all right.
You jump
I
in.
move that we approve it as, or suggest requested by the agents.
We now have a motion and a second regarding this item. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Next item, sir.
The next amended lease is with the Mississippi Department of Public Safety. This is a hangar at the main airport, although the mailing address is Bolton. It's for 12,000 square feet. It is hangar space. The cost is $45,000 per year, or $3.75 plus utilities and janitorial. This property is made up of hangar space for the public safety's aircraft and living and office space. This amendment extends the lease for an additional 5 years with no option to renew. RPM recommends the approval of this lease.
You heard the overview of the lease and staff's recommendation. What's your pleasure?
I move for approval based on staff recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion is carried.
The next lease is the emergency lease. It is for Department of Finance and Administration in Gulfport, 2,000 square feet, at a cost of $44,799.96, or $22.40 plus janitorial. This lease is in response to the emergency situation with the Bolton building that requires the relocating of staff. This emergency complies with 300.9 section 3 of the state leasing manual. This is a 1-year emergency lease with no renewals. RPM recommends the ratification of this lease.
You've heard the emergency lease. What's your pleasure?
Move approval of this lease.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried.
The next group of leases is with the Parchman Farming up in Parchman, Mississippi. As you can see, I've listed all the different tracts and the amounts that we will be leasing to individual companies. The request is based on recommendations from the Mississippi Department of Corrections, Mississippi State Penitentiary at Parchman, Mississippi, and the Division of Agricultural Enterprises. MDOC requests PPRB approval on these farmland lease renewals listed above. This request also is contingent upon execution of the farming lease contracts. Staff recommendation, RPM recommends the approval of these leases.
You've heard the matter, Parchman Farming lease renewals. What is your pleasure?
I move for approval based on staff recommendation with question.
Second.
Floor is open for questions.
Question, no, those that are 8/8 will have to be bid this next time, correct?
They'll have to be bid next year.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
I got a question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, this, I guess, is anybody with agency on here? The question I have is this, that the farmers I've talked to this year have all crying pretty much. They're all losing money pretty regularly. Does that affect the state's ability to get this money, or is this money paid up front? When is this money
Paid up
paid?
front.
For 2026, the collection of the lease, the majority of the leases money will be in October 31st.
So if the farmer he gets his loan, and that loan, he gets a payment for this lease, and he pays the state, and then he farms it. And let's say he loses $200 an acre, he's just SOL, or, the state's is held whole no matter what. I guess that's the question I'm asking.
Can I answer it this way, in that I've been doing this for about 13 years, and we've had 2 farmers in that 13 years that have not paid us. And then, of course, we took it to legal, and they're still in the process of collecting money. But yes, it can happen. It's farming, and it's kind of it's a gamble when you're a farmer. Most of these farmers are insurance farmers, so they make sure that they insure their crop well enough in order to recoup their monies.
Okay. So the state is protected about as well as it can be, is what I'm asking. Well, I know these guys are screaming up there.
When I actually signed the contract, I filed a lien on the tracks and the crop with the Secretary of State. If they take anything to any elevator for sale, first thing that they're gonna do before they cut a check is they will look on the Secretary of State's website to see if the state of Mississippi or anybody else has a lien on that crop. Since we have first dibs in the pot, we're paid first before the farmers pay.
Okay. I appreciate that.
15 of these tracks are at the same farm. Same
Yeah.
entity.
That boy over in Greenwood at that grain elevator, he hurt a lot of people, and I just didn't know if that affected the state's ability to get money, but it doesn't sound like it does. So appreciate that. All right, thank you.
Ready for a question? Yeah. All in favor, say aye.
Bye.
Opposed? Nay.
I want to say thank y'all for your thoughts and prayers. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kim.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jonathan, I'm with the Office of Personal Coverage Contract Review. I have a correction to the agenda. Item number 3 and item number 5 have been removed from consideration for board action. The contract needed additional information. Item number 1 is a contract modification between Mississippi Emergency Management Agency and TF Rankin and Associates Incorporated. The contractor provides continuation of technical assistance services to perform during a disaster to ensure legal policies and regulations are followed in the event of federal disaster flooding reimbursement. The term of the original contract is 1 year before officer award of renewals. Amendment 4 has been submitted to exercise the fourth renewal period, increase the fee authority, and update the consideration clause. All of the terms and conditions of the contract are the same. OPSER recommends approval of this request.
You've heard the summary of the request and the staff's recommendation. What's your pleasure?
Motion to approve based staff recommendations with a question.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Floor is open for question.
Question is, I'm reading this, it says it updates the consideration clause.
That's the payment clause.
What's that?
So if someone's being paid $300 an hourly rate, you want a contract total, which would be that clause. It would be the consideration clause, correct? So just the pretty much.
Since they're renewing, they need more money. So they're putting more money into that payment clause.
Okay.
You'll see that almost with every renewal, you'll see an update to the consideration because the renewal year is more money.
So the consideration is about money. just not considering something.
No, considering how much we're paying you.
That's what I didn't know. About that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yes, I have one question on that also.
Ma'am?
The, $2 million that's a cap, correct? Or do they get paid $2 million for the disaster or not?
I believe that's just an estimate cost. The spending authority increased by 2 million and the total capital of the entire contract.
Okay.
I think that's a not to exceed amount. I think this, I'm pulling it up, but I think this contract is an hourly rate, not to exceed that 2 million for that renewal year.
So if, God forbid, there's 7 or 8 major disasters in 1 year, and that oversight needs to go up, they would have to come back to us for that.
They would have to come back for more money.
Okay.
That ought to be considered.
That's right.
Thank you.
Ready to vote?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion is carried. Next item.
Item number 2 is a contract modification between Mississippi Department of Revenue and Tip Staff Incorporated. The contract provides temporary warehouse staffing services for the alcoholic beverage control liquid distribution center. The term of the original contract is 1 year with 3 optional 1-year renewals. Amendment 4 has been submitted to increase the spending authority and update the compensation clause, excuse me. All other terms and conditions of the original contract remain the same. The PSCI recommends approval of this request contingent upon receipt of the required certificate of insurance.
You've heard the summary regarding the contract and the staff's recommendation. What is your pleasure?
Move for approval based on staff recommendation.
Second.
I got a comment.
Okay. We're gonna have a approved and seconded. Floor is open for question.
This one says update the compensation clause. I don't understand that.
Yeah, same thing. They just, revenue calls it the compensation clause and MEMA calls it the consideration clause.
Consideration clause and the compensation clause are just two sides of the same bill.
Raise a question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion is carried. Next item.
So item 3 has been removed. So we're moving to 4. Okay.
Good morning. I'm Trent Kelby, OPSCR. The Mississippi Office of State Treasurer is seeking to enter a contract with the Gibbs Company Incorporated and Amplify Incorporated for $990,000. The term of both contracts are for 3 years with 2 optional 1-year renewals. The contractors will provide communications and marketing consulting for the Office of the State Treasurer, including the Executive Office, Impact, Max, Unclaimed Property, and all other operations of the office. The consultants shall be responsible for public affairs, media relations, digital and social media communications and advertising, direct mail-in marketing, and telephone marketing as well. These contractors were selected through an RFP with 21 respondents. The contracts were awarded to the highest ranked scoring respondents. OPSCR recommends approval of this request.
Thank you. You've heard the overview and the staff's recommendation. Any question, comments, or concerns?
I move that we accept the staff recommendation, and I do have a question.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Floor is open for questions.
So I'm trying to calculate the numbers.
Yes, sir.
All right, 330 times 3 is 990, but where do we get the 1,000,006? Should that be like 1,980,000 or something, whatever that turns out to be?
I have, Miss Teresa on the line with State Treasurer Office.
Yes, I think the 1,000,006 is adding the two together. We don't anticipate ever hitting even the 990. That was just the amount that was on the original contract from 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And without knowing, because we took 2 different contractors this time, instead of just one, without knowing what the cost would be, we just left that number in there. But again, we set out and explained to all the proposers that we were trying to shoot for no more than 700,000 total for both of them.
Okay, so that's the anticipated max rather than, and just having the contract at 330 per year is what you're.
Correct.
that
Yes,
is a-
because we don't
okay,
have
all right.
exactly how much it would be per year, but I have no desire to go to 330 per year.
And the 330 is just your cap per year is what you're doing.
Correct, yes.
Per contract.
Per contract. So the $1,650,000 is just sort of a target number. It's irrelevant.
Don't mean that.
Yeah.
Pretty good question.
I've got a comment, since we got somebody with the state treasurer's office online. I spent an hour and 15 minutes on the phone, Mississippi Affordable College Safety Program yesterday, trying to get a change. And, I dialed the local 601-380 or whatever the number is. And I thought I was talking to somebody down at the State Department, and I found out after, like I said, an hour and 15 minutes, it was Jacksonville, Florida. I had no idea what I was talking about. I just want to advise them that maybe they ought to look into customer service a little bit better on that. Only comment I got. Thank you.
Ready for the question? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion is carried.
Thank you. Okay, number 5 is the second one that was removed, so I think we're moving to statewide strategic sourcing.
Jansen. Under Mississippi law and PPRB open rules and regulations, PPRB may establish pre-approved vendor lists to allow agencies to contract for services without additional bidding or prior board approval. CPF is requesting the establishment of a PPL for procurement, acquisition, and support services through the NASO Value Point Cooperative Portfolio. The vendors included in this request were selected through an RFP conducted by the state of North Carolina as the lead state. 89 proposals were received and 34 vendors were awarded master agreements and placed in the portfolio. These vendors provide a range of procurement support services, including, procurement planning, solicitation development, and contract administration support. The master agreements are firm fixed price contracts based on labor hours. OPSCR has reviewed the procurement conducted by North Carolina. A participating addendum containing Mississippi specific terms will be executed by DFA on behalf of state agencies. If approved, this PDL will be effective January 19th, 2026 to January 18th, 2029, and renewable through January 18th, 2032. This request is contingent upon receipt, final review, and approval of all the required documents from the state of North Carolina. OPSCR recommends the vendors in the NASO Value Point Procurement, Acquisition, and Support Services portfolio be placed on the pre-approved vendor list.
You've heard the overview regarding the pre-approved vendor list. What is your vote?
I move for approval, and there are at least 7 or 8 accounting firms in this list too. I keep all changing their names, but I recognize several of these. So that actually bid on something, because this was not audit services, this is procurement service.
All in favor?
Got a motion, do we get a second?
I didn't know if that was a motion. I thought this was.
I move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this item. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Thank you very much. Now, to the other business, next meeting, February the 4th, 9 o'clock, here, I imagine. And is there any additional other business coming before the board at this time? Hearing none, we have a motion to adjourn. And a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay.
Madam Chair, that might be the fastest meeting I've ever had.